How's it going, you guys? It is the end of the day. It is Wednesday, and I need to harvest some flowers. As you guys know, Thursdays I go and do flower delivery to the retirement home. I'm still feeling a little under the weather. You guys hear Lola? She is still out. Oh, you can't see her. She's right back there. She has not gone home to the coop with the other chickens in 3 days. So she's refused. Lola, she's just really enjoying her time out here. And for those of you that ask, yes, she has water out here. She has food out here. She has a tub that she can swim in. She's fine. But I need to harvest some flowers today. I'm not sure if I'm going or not this week. Well, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not going, and I'm not going to be doing the flower class that I normally do. But if I do anything, I'm just going to drop off some flowers. So I'm still feeling a little bit under the weather. But if they want flowers, I want to be able to drop them off. So I need to do that. I'm just noticing some of these dahlias are really tiny. Let me show you guys this. I've had a really, really weird year with dahlias, and this one is called Touche, and some of these buds are tiny, and these flowers are tiny. When I first harvested the first one, it was like this big around. I don't see this getting that big, or these. I've just had a really weird year with dahlias. I think it's too hot, too fast, and we're not cooling down. So like they're very, very quickly burning. They come up and then they just burn. So they open and then like almost immediately they start burning. So it's been really, really sad year for me for dahlias. I'm getting very few of them. So it's kind of frustrating. I've had better luck when they get a little bit more shade. So not really loving my dahlias this year. Feels like a big investment for a very, very little return. Some of them are kind of weird, but whatever. Well, I'm not exactly sure what all I'm going to be harvesting today. Zinnias are pretty much it for the moment right now with things on the garden. A lot of things are coming to an end, especially with this heat wave. We're hitting 109 pretty consistently, and it's really hot, and we're not cooling down at nighttime anymore. So it's getting exhausting, and the only things that are thriving right now are zinnias, and they're doing really, really well. So I'm gonna harvest as many zinnias as I can and just drop that off, and they can make zinnia bouquets. Just to keep it easy on myself and on them if I'm not there. They usually have kind of a few questions, and so I figured this might just make it easier if I just drop off one flower, maybe two. We'll see what we can get. There are a ton of white zinnias. There's a patch right there. I think I have 3 patches of white zinnias, and then there's lots of pinks and purples. You can see those right there. And then also the ones that are right here also. So let's just start getting some of these harvested, so that way I can drop them off in the morning. I don't think I'm gonna be able to go and like actually do any flower arranging this time. I'm not feeling good, and I just don't want to get any of them sick. So I'm gonna grab some buckets and we'll go from there. Seems to me like you guys are enjoying the videos where I just kind of come on here and, you know, pitter around the garden. Pitter? Where I piddle around the garden and do a few things that need to be done, and we just kind of chat. So I'm enjoying doing that. I think you guys are too. I feel like the garden is starting to win on quite a few things. While the zinnia patch looks great, it has not been properly staked for quite some time, and so all of the zinnias have this lean to it. They're all going sideways, making this walkway right here seem incredibly tiny. I think everything is really reaching for the sun going this way, so The dahlias that are on that side have got a lean to them. The zinnias, they have a lean to them. And then right here, everything is growing pretty much straight up and down. So this walkway right here feels very, very tight. So I think I'm gonna do 4 buckets of flowers. And I have some crazy stems in here. Some of them are very, very wonky, but you know, I don't think it matters. They usually end up cutting these pretty short anyways. I always make the stems extremely long and then they get cut to about here. So they end up being pretty short arrangements. I texted the gal that's kind of in charge of a lot of this, and I asked her, I said, do you still want me to come drop off flowers? Let me know. I haven't heard anything back, and I've noticed that some of the classes, they're starting to dwindle down in size and people coming to the classes. So I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna keep doing this. It's been fun, it's been a really cool experience, but it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of work for, you know, 2, maybe 3 people at most to show up. So I think this might be one of the very last ones that we do, just for how much work it is. And plus, it's getting harder and harder, which is kind of crazy, to find things in the garden that still look good with how hot it's been. Especially when I don't want to be in the garden because it has been so hot. Some of these that I'm harvesting, I can get some really long stems, and some of them are so much shorter than some of these other ones, but these blush ones, these ones right here, are still my favorites. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I'm sure you have, because I feel like you guys notice everything. But I have tried to kind of change my filming style and my filming strategy a little bit on what I'm doing in the garden and how I'm handling things. And I'm trying to have a more free and unstructured video and more just like a hangout chatting session, and I think that you guys have enjoyed it. I am seeing the responses in the comments, especially I feel like it's more engaged instead of how-to videos, which is what I felt like I really needed to put out there and push, was how to do this, how to do that. And every video had to have an exact theme and an exact like science behind it of what I was doing and how I was doing it in the garden. And I feel like this is a good change and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the more like freeness of it and the ability to just kind of show you guys exactly what's happening in the garden. Okay, ignore the pooper scooper. That was quite the shot. Oh gosh. Okay, we're gonna turn the camera this way. I was trying to get the aviary in the background, but not if the dog pooper scooper is leaned up against it. So gross. But I feel like you guys have enjoyed the freeness of the video and the more like sitting down and chatting while I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing in the garden. No set rules or anything. It feels a little bit more authentic and true to what's happening around here. Look at this zinnia. It is huge. It's like almost, I mean, it's like, okay, I have a big head, but it's like a third of the size of my head in comparison to like, let me cut some of these other ones. These ones are all really big. I feel like, oh, here's one. Here's one that I've been cutting in comparison. Now there's bugs crawling on me. So like, this is what I'm cutting. Good size zinnia. This thing is huge. And like, I mean, the stems on it are extremely short. This is like as long as the stem as I was able to get off of it. But that is so beautiful right there. I love the like ombre effect of this. Oh, and the backside's a little green. No clue what that is. Okay, my hand is getting full. I need to grab another bucket really quick. I think floral arrangements this week for them are going to be pretty sparse. I don't want to spend hours out here harvesting. It's still a little bit warm. I've been out here now for probably about 20 minutes and I have a bucket and a half. So flowers are starting to wind down. It's a little too hot for them. So I'm gonna go back to this back patch that I have back there and grab the last of the zinnias that I think are ready. I also don't want to just drop off 3 buckets of just like white zinnias. So let's go ahead and grab some of these. I'm really, really in love with, I'm not really like a bright person at all. I don't love bright colors, but I'm in love with these bright ones compared to like the purple. I mean, the purple's still very bright, but ooh, these ones right here just like get your attention across the property compared to these like softer blush pink ones. And these don't even look as pink as they are in real life on camera. Like these are like so vibrant. I mean, you can see one right there with the green, they just like stand out, where like the purple just kind of like disappears, not disappears, but it like is very subtle with all the green. So I don't know, these like pink highlighter coral colored ones I'm obsessed with. The praying mantis has caught one of those flies that looks like a bee. God, nature is so wild. Well, I was gonna harvest a few from this patch, actually a lot from this patch right here, because this is the like queen lime with blush and the lime ones, but that praying mantis is like right there. And I'm not going to disturb him or her. So I'm just gonna grab just a few like these outer ones, nowhere near, I don't wanna upset the praying mantis. I can already see its tail thing, its butt is like upwards. So I'm just gonna grab a few really quick from this section. Lola. Okay, well, I got 8 out of that patch, so very small handful. But the purple ones have very short stems, and these like lime green ones have these lime green ones have super long stems on them. So I'm happy about that. And then I think I'm gonna go in now. Well, it's the next day. They still haven't contacted me back about whether they want me to come drop flowers off or not. So I'm gonna harvest one more bucket and just get a few things, and I guess whatever I get, great. It's so hard right now because it's so hot that things just aren't thriving. So I'm gonna get just a few things, and then that way they have something to like fill in the plants with. But the problem is we're kind of running out of things on the property. But I'm gonna try to find something filler type. Maybe I'll grab some of the amaranth, but I'm so over this. I'm at the point, I do this every year, where I'm ready to just mow everything down. So I'm ready to, I mean, I would like to just get rid of these 2 strips right here first. There's very few things in here. I mean, like some of the zinnias are right here. I'm over it. I'm so over it. I want flower beds. I want meandering paths. Okay, let's see what I can find. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what I can find. Oh, I've also seen a few questions coming in about this house. It is pending, so we should have new neighbors soon. I actually do the hair of the inspector, and it failed inspection, and so they're fixing a few things, and then it'll go from pending to sold, I guess. So maybe in the next like 2 months we should have new neighbors, month and a half. We'll see. And then also I've seen a few more questions coming in about my Felcos, because I did get my Felcos back after my neighbor stole them. So for those of you that don't know, one of my neighbors, when we had the nursery in our driveway and we were selling plants out of the driveway, I left my Felcos up there on a table with some plants that weren't for sale. And she came all the way down the driveway. All the plants that we had for sale were at the very beginning of it. She came all the way down the driveway and grabbed some of the plants that were on the very back table. They were like around another table, so I was trying to like hide them so that like people wouldn't come and get them. And she came, grabbed my Felcos, and she grabbed a couple plants that were not for sale, and took them home. And we had no clue where they went. I thought it was crazy. I was like, somebody must have like taken these plants, and Brent was like, no, you probably just like misplaced them and they died. And I was like, well, there's a good possibility. And then we couldn't find my Felcos. I thought they were like lost in this jungle of plants somewhere. I kept blaming Brent for them. And yeah, she found us a couple months ago and was like, hey, I have your guys' pruners, but I'm not sure if they were actually for sale or not. I was like, no, they were not for sale. If you could bring those back, that would be super fabulous. She goes, oh yeah, if I can find them, I'll bring them back to you. And then like 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, she brought them back to us. And they are a little bit rusted, which is fine. I'll just replace some of those parts. But she just saw them on the table and she thought, oh, well, must be selling these. And she said that she put like $3 or $4 in the box. But I got them back. That's all that matters. But now I stopped buying expensive things, expensive pruners, and I buy these ones, which these are my like new favorites. I love the like curved tip that they have. They're the Corona, what is it, AG4940. I put them in the link in the description of every single video because they're seriously my favorites. And they're like, I think they're always on sale and they're like $12 or something like that. And so I have like 2 pairs of these. I would like to pick up a 3rd pair. I love these though. The Felcos are great because they do go through some pretty thick things, but these ones are definitely my new favorites. Let's find some filler plants. So what I'm harvesting here is actually carrot or Dara or false Queen Anne's lace, and I love this plant. So the way you can tell that it is a carrot is because it has this little like ruffled edge down here. So it means that it's not poisonous. There is a whole variety that's totally poisonous. Some people like to say that you can tell because there's a little red pin in the middle, but that's not always the case. So, I mean, as you can see, like this one, there's no little dot in the middle. Actually, all of these. Let me see if I can find one. So I think you can kind of tell with this one. See that little red dot? Some people like to go off of that and say, oh, that's how you know. But that's not always the case. Some of these don't have it. How you can always tell is it has this little tutu of petals down here at the very bottom underneath the flower. But I love using this in arrangements. And for some reason, these ones back here have done this thing where they're splitting in half their color, which is really, really cool. They're usually either like one solid color like that, or kind of like speckled in color like that is, or like that one. So this one's pretty cool. I like that it's doing this like weird little split thing. So I'm gonna harvest some of these for the arrangements and then put them in their water. This right here is what it looks like when they go to seed. They start to curl in. So they've lost all their petals, and then they produce, let's see if that can focus. And they produce these fuzzy little seed head looking things. And there's about 1 million seeds right here. So I usually will save some of these so I can have more of this plant because I really like this plant in arrangements. It does a really good job for a filler, and it smells like carrots. It's actually really nice. It's really, really, really nice, actually. And I've seen some people saying that you can eat these like fried, which makes sense because it's just a carrot top, but I'm not going to try that. All right, we've harvested some of that. Now I'm gonna grab some basil for these arrangements, and I think I'm gonna call it. Okay, so I have about 2.5 buckets of things for the retirement home. I'm not sure if I'm going or not yet. They still haven't gotten a hold of me. I'm feeling a lot better today. But this is like 4 days of being sick with this. So we'll see. I don't plan on going and like doing any of the classwork or any of that with them. I'm just gonna drop off flower buckets if they want, and they can put them together there. I've got 2 buckets of zinnias and a bucket of basil and the Queen Anne's lace, or the false Queen Anne's lace, which is right there behind me. So I think that's more than enough. They'll just be very small arrangements this time. And zinnias have a super long vase life. It's like 12 to 14 days or something like that. It's absolutely absurd how long they last, which is amazing. So we'll see if they want them. If they don't want them, that's no big deal. I will gladly put together a huge bouquet for myself and for my other neighbors. It's no problem. So I'm gonna wait to hear back from them. If they want them, then great. If not, it's easier for me. So I think that is gonna be it for this video. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Thanks for chatting with me, as always, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.